Formalities, why formalities?
Yes, go ahead.
Greetings everyone. Today we have Claret ma'am. She's the head of the department in MBA. So I would like to talk a few words about her. And then she's been graduated from St. Agnes College in BCom in Mangalore Universities. And then she also has a graduate in MA in English and PGDM.
PGDM is MBA from Academy.
She has a doctorate in management at NITK, and then she has gained 22 years of experience in industry level as well as 10 years of experience in teaching. We are very glad to have you here, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, guys. You want to share something? Say something. Yeah. See. Entrepreneur.
No, it's like no. Sometimes when I look back, I think it's every time I think about my future plans, I think I'm like square. Like I'm not. It's a bit complicated. So job seems to be a stereotypical and sensible option. But then again, I'm not into that. I guess working from that time to this time, being under somebody's clutches or something. So it's basically I have to go for some different field. So entrepreneurship is a sensible option. But it's like directly if I say I want to be an entrepreneur, it's like jumping into a volcano with good energy. So the chances of survival is more or less I hope to take that chances.
I think you should all work for a while and know the corporate world before you plunge into entrepreneurship. All of you should work because experience is one which gives you that kind of gut feeling, kind of courage, kind of confidence and understanding of what works and what doesn't work. It's good. Don't ever think bad about it. It's nothing bad about it. You're not going to be in the clutches of monster. There are all people like you, people who have come to make a living, serious about their work. They enjoy work because they live by it. You will find them so passionate because maybe they look for life in that itself. You may not be as passionate because you are looking life outside when you join them, but still maybe you don't know. So be there. I think it's great to be with you guys. Okay, thank you for calling me because very rarely a teacher gets called. She's tired. She's like worn out currency in the classroom. Okay, now let me start with what do you do when you just can't figure out something out? Sleep off. Very nice. Okay. Everybody has got different ways of coping with.
Sit silently for 5 minutes.
Helps. What you get?
1 hour. Think. What's the problem and why? What type of solution I can get? So I try to not meditate, just think. Why am I going wrong?
No, now you see, zombies are people who actually don't live, right? Probably. Okay, what they can do? They can only bang their heads, right? We don't bang our heads because we see possible solutions, right? But if you really understand your brain, okay, you people are, I don't know how much value you put on your brain and how much value you put on the machine. How much value you put on the machine? Do you value your brain? Do you think your brain is more valuable than the machine that you're working on? Yes. Or it overwhelms you. It's like a monster. It makes you a slave. What is it? Which is more, which is better? Think so?
Yes.
Why?
It is the correct thing. The computer was created by our own thinking and our own knowledge. like Mumibos, basically all the automation or all the machines were created by our own brain. And without any human touch, everything is just a thing.
Okay, see, what is intelligence? Can anybody say? Give me a definition for intelligence. When do you say somebody is very intelligent?
Problem solving, whenever problem solving is in depth.
Okay, problem solving. You said
Techniques.
knows the techniques.
The way of approach.
We try to think beyond our constraints. Like people who try to think beyond their constraints, not thinking only up to a certain point.
No, now you say you're a first rank holder in the university. Okay. I was right there. Okay. Then does it mean that he is the super intelligent guy? You feel like that? Why? Why? Why?
Because intelligence is beyond textbooks.
Intelligence is beyond textbooks, right? Yes. Yes. When would you say he is the brightest kid in this whole of AI?
If it is considering to our college, then it will be the person who scored the highest marks.
Ayo, ayo. God save you, man.
Yeah, pinpointing images generally.
No, I'm just saying. No, if you say, would you feel happy about it?
No.
You know, I'm just saying, no. Maybe he'll wonder, am I really the one they're talking to? But what makes somebody intelligent?
Crazy about things.
Crazy about things? Okay.
His presence of mind, basically.
Okay. What gives that feeling?
How he acts on the particular situation. Different people will act differently, right? How we can find the best way out of the
Okay. You have two wires, okay? Somebody who studied arts, okay, and knows nothing of science. Will he be able to pass electricity through those two wires? Plus and minus?
It's not even if he doesn't even like if he has not completely studied, not at all studied science, then he can't.
Yes, I'm saying somebody
Not
like
like
your worker in the house, or somebody who's never gone to college, and no, if you have a knowledge
Basic
of
knowledge.
it.
If he has basic knowledge.
Ah, okay, so would you call him intelligent? Somebody who can connect to things, right? You make connections when you have studied, you have scored very good, and you're able to create something new out of your knowledge, then you are really brilliant. That's why this Isaac Newton and whoever we've been talking about for centuries together, they're dead and gone, but they're even today respected and revered because they were able to connect things. So you should always know you have arrived when you're able to put your learning to practice and you're able to give something to the society, right? Okay, that's the culmination of your achievement. Okay, so this happens. Our brains are very complex. Okay, and just understanding how the brain works itself can make learning very easy and less frustrating. Because we have, gathered, like, if I say now, why you've been scoring so well? What is the methodology that you're following that makes you score so well?
I try to understand the concepts. Okay. Right. Not in that. Whatever it is. I try to understand the concepts. Then I try to practice like mathematics. We won't get just by.
Okay. Understanding, practice. What is your method? Everybody has a method, right? All of us have a method. What's your method of learning?
I try to listen with utmost focus in class and take notes. And then I practice when I go back to hostels. And I do revision before exams.
Okay. Okay.
Same as I try to more focus in class, and after that, in hostel, little bit will practice, not much more.
Hmm?
In hostel, you can't practice everything, but how much I can, I will practice.
You practice. And you? What is your study method?
Like 2 days before exam, I just go through what I have heard in the class and I write what I can remember.
Now it's like whatever concepts I find interesting, try to work in similar class. And whatever I find boring, I just sleep or I ignore it. Then one day before exam, I'll think of studying that time and then I'll calculate 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. I skip. And then the last moment, I just glance it and oh, yeah. And I try to frame sentences in that.
Is it because there is limited to kind of look at?
No, I think
Limited
that-
material to look at?
No, it's actually my problem. It's like I'm too lazy.
No, I'm not saying that. Is it because you are able to cope up with it because you have limited material at the end of the, for the exam?
Yes,
To study? If it was like open book or something like that, would you be able to cope up with it?
No, I'm obviously I'm doing.
You won't. Okay. What is your study?
If it's a theory subject, I don't pay much attention. If it's like a practical subjects are like something related to logic or something related to like that, I pay attention. And then we don't usually study. We just start studying before the exam. That before the exam, that day is there. I just give it my everything at that moment. Like any exam,
And you're able to kind of come out.
it's easy. If you know how to write exam, there's a key thing to write exam. If you know how to like crack that thing, you can
Can you
easily.
use the secret?
Ma'am, it's just like simple logic, attention, retention, recall. And get
But how much is taught in the class?
that depends on how we retain from it. Retention is more important than attention, I feel. If nothing is taught in the class. It's just you, how you understand the concept and how you can put it out in a proper.
Do you have anybody, any engineers in your family or something?
No, I'm the first engineer in my family.
Okay. Good. How do you do?
Some subjects are listened to class, like if I feel interesting. That time I listen and I don't practice that time. And when it comes to exam or the internals,
No, classes are interesting.
this same material. But before, like, actually I'm serious on this time actually, to be honest. Before I used to not listen to class because the teachers or subjects were not that much interesting for me personally. I don't know about others, but personally for me, it was not that interesting. So I used to, sit before, not even on week, like night, like as coach said, skip, night 9 we should start. But that time we give 100%. What is our capability? So from night to that we should give and
Okay. It's so interesting. See how people cope up with their work, okay? Each one has got a method, which is like works for me and may not work for you. And what is your method?
When we also,
What you do?
I will try to concentrate on class, and even I am in cultural team also, and I have to give my time for that also. For
Okay.
I will
See,
try to
how many of you
do that.
feel bad that you can't do well? How many feel among this group? See, it's okay. It's okay.
every time, mom, it's like before my parents, like not every time, but sometimes, they used to compare, like, he's scoring 6.5, or your roommate is, he doesn't have any backlog. Like, my roommate is with, like, he clears everything. I still have 4 backlogs right now.
But do you think that there is something wrong with you?
No, it's not wrong. I won't say it's my capability, it's their capability. And it need not to be.
No, you attribute it to capability.
No, it's like sometimes it depends on, like, we will study at some point of time, but like it depends on our mindset. It's like if we give our mind, yeah, we study, we completely figure it out everything. Maybe there are instances where like we have cleared 8-9 subjects in one single shot.
Anybody adore somebody because of their capacity to earn like good marks and all that?
Not much.
And adulation, like oh my God, that person is a genius. Do you all say that?
It shouldn't be said, ma'am, because exams are testing only your memory, not your knowledge, at some point of time. So I
Do
think that,
you think that is it?
yes,
Do you think
at some point of time.
that means you are undermining somebody, okay? 1 minute. Hello, sir. I will call you later, okay? I'll call you later. I'm in the classroom. Okay, thank you. See, this is very, very important for me to understand, okay? Unless you realize that what you're doing today and what you're thinking, then then you look at the alternative. Otherwise, simply hearing me talk, it doesn't work that way, okay? What about you?
What I feel is, to accomplish anything, whatever I feel is like there should be consistency. So I like to get as much consistent studies as possible. So I installed an application on my phone which makes mind maps. I tend to grasp things much more faster when it's visual rather than just grasping from the text or anything like that. So I had that for the previous exams.
Okay. Work for you?
Yeah.
Basically, I don't study. Literally, I just try to listen to class. Even though I feel sleepy in the class, I sleep sometimes. And even going to hostel, I just do something. I just explore something, then I just sleep off. During the examination, I just glance at it and I feel bored. I'll keep the book and I'll sleep.
Okay. Let's leave it at this, okay? Very, very interesting. We'll leave it at this because see, let me come to the next one. You agree with this, right? Human brain is very, very complex, okay? But whereas this is also some kind of situation where you play this game, okay? You see, simple ball game analogy. You can also have another way of looking at it, okay? I'll come to this later. I'll just go to this. We have two different modes of thinking. One is focused. The other one is diffuse mode of thinking, okay? What is this focused? Everybody, I think almost everyone said we have to listen to the class, we have to pay attention and then, get what we can, understanding and then, okay, you all know it, right? And that everybody thinks that is going to be the surefire way to success. Yes? You believe in that. Everybody believes in it. Focus is the way to success. How many people don't believe in it? 1, 2. What?
I believe not only focus along with understanding and experience brings the entire thing into it.
Okay, and you said focus.
Staying focused on one particular thing and staying focused will become like a horse running the race.
Okay, and you? What do you say?
I just stayed because of my experience because
You don't want to sleep, right?
I rarely focus in the class.
Okay, he is sleepy kind, my kind, okay. So we are all very familiar with focusing. Concentrate intently on something you are trying to learn or understand, okay? That's the general methodology that's followed, agreed, right? But there is another way of thinking also. It's a diffuse mode of thinking. You know what is this diffuse mode of thinking? Anybody can explain? I think I should ask you to explain this diffuse mode of thinking. Okay? What is this diffuse mode of thinking? It is the opposite, okay? If you are not doing focused, then you are diffused. Okay? So you are very master at it. So you tell me, how does it help you?
idea, ma'am. I just.
It doesn't help you, you don't believe in it.
No, I just.
Then
go
you
along
go
with
and
it.
ask Newton, and this is focused. Okay, your thoughts are going through regular path. Teacher has told, do the problem like this is the formula. So you follow the path which is told to you. This is again that pinball game, okay? You set and see these paths are defined. Some are vague, but going on the same path Like how to go to Hampanganda. That is the way, that is the bus you catch. That is the time that the bus comes. That's the bus you get into. This is the place I sit. And this is the place I go, okay? Habit. Etched, that path is very well etched for you. You do that problem again and again and again and again. You have it fixed in the brain, and you will exam time also, you will do that same thing, and then you get 100. Okay? Anything you see. Diffuse is this, there is no path. The balls, nobody has gone there before. Jungle. See, when you have a road, you know which road to go. In a jungle, you have to find your path. What will you do?
Make your own path.
You'll wander here, there, everywhere, right before you reach the stream. Maybe you're very thirsty. If you don't have a compass with you, you will just wander around. Maybe you'll reach and maybe you'll reach somewhere else. Correct? So there is a way, right? Diffused way. Diffuse is you. Just now for this road. No, because you said it, that's my way. Okay? So this is the way. So one has got very, well-designed path. Others have gone and you follow the path, surely you will get 100 marks. Correct? There is another way which nobody knows, but I do. Was it you who were saying? But that also leads to success. But it's a different path. It also leads to success, but some success. May not be the exam success, but maybe some other success. Okay? So here, there's the familiar thought pattern, okay? Example, adding some numbers, you know how to add. You know how to multiply. You know how to divide, okay? Your thought moves smoothly around on the fuzzy underlying neural path. It's all brain function. I'm talking in that language. As if traveling along a familiar, nicely paved road. Okay? But what if the problem you're working on needs new ideas or approaches? Does this focused thinking help? Corona time. Okay? Nobody knew what the virus is, how the virus was looking. Could you have discovered the root of the problem? See, even today vaccine is not there, right? Nobody can say we've got a real, vaccine that works 100%. Okay? So, what you have to do then? Can you go the same way as before? No, you are in the woods, right? You are in the woods. Concepts which you have not learnt before in college, never even thought before, he may get because he's sleeping most of the time. Yeah? Because he's more likely to get it than somebody who is really reading the same known thing, focused way. Now I'm just saying, okay, it's not to kind of say anything about anybody. It happens to us all. See now, focus mode of thinking you all know. Diffuse mode of thinking, to get a new pattern, you need to think differently, right? If you see, if you have a bottle, okay, and you place an ant, or the ants move in a line, they will only go round and round and round and round. Okay, they will not know how to get out. Especially those, those pilgrim, those worms. Okay, they will go round and round and round. Till they die, they will go round and round. And we also do sometimes the same thing. Our mother used to, like there is a book that I've read, Think Differently. There somebody was cutting the chicken or something like that and making it in particular fashion. Why are you doing like this? Because my mother told me to do it like this. How does your mother know that's the best way? Because her mother told the same thing. So we kind of go like that pilgrim, that caterpillar, following the same path that was told to us. Okay? Now here, like in the pinball game where rubber bumpers are placed at distance, the thought moves widely, travels long way before being interrupted. Okay? Now come back to this again. You look at things broadly from a different big picture perspective because you don't know what is the small thing that you have to look at. You have to, like the pinball game which has got those bumpers scattered around. It will hit all the corners from one boundary to the other. Okay? Before it strikes, okay, it encounters something that is of use. Okay? Now, here you make, see there the connections were already there. Here you are making new neural connections. Okay? And then you can't focus, you really can't, it's not a focus mode of thinking, right? So you really cannot focus on anything. Okay? To understand a concept, you have to have your own ways of experience. You have to go through those experiences and get the new concepts. Okay? So here, see the great inventors, be it anyone, Newton or Edison or whoever, how did they find, how did they make their first inventions? Because of diffuse mode of thinking. You know what Thomas Alva Edison used to do itself? He used to have so many bottles, this glassware all scattered on his table. Then like this guy used to fall asleep. Okay, suddenly he would get up and have a idea. Okay, and then he would start working on it again. So 10-15 bulbs would break, kind of glass things would break when he got up. Because he never knew when he went to sleep and when he got up. Okay? So, yeah. So, all the great inventors, read them. They are very, very interesting. Read these, people who have invented something and know their lives, then you will find that they never had this focus mode of thinking. They had this diffuse mode of thinking and they slept more than others. Okay? So, that's what it is. Okay? Then, see, you cannot have both. This is like throwing the coin up and getting a head or the tail. Either head or the tail. Either you are on focus mode or you are on diffuse mode. Okay? Being in one mode limits your access to the other mode. Okay? Of thinking. Now, coming to learning. What is learning? It takes 10 times the energy by weight than any other function that you do, any activity that you do. You get very tired with you don't physically, when you work physically, maybe you were, hitting a log and all that, you still feel energy coming out of you. But when during the exam, after the exam, you've read, you're so tired, you can't even stay awake or talk or do anything. It takes 10 times more energy than any other activity. Okay? So here, most complex device, this brain is the most complex device in the whole world. There is nothing more complex than that. Our ability to do math and chess takes years of practice to acquire the skills. Today, if you're doing math well, you've done this math so many years. You've practiced and you've done it. And if you're so good at it, That means you worked so much more practice you have done from the others. That's why you're good. It's just not that I see my teacher do the maths problem and wow, I know it. You feel it sometimes. I understood. Then you think that you know it. Before the exam, you don't know anything of it. That also happens. Okay? Now, see now, please understand something. Who taught you to see? Who taught you to hear? Who taught you to talk? Who taught you to run? Who taught you to fall? Did you all consciously go to any school and learn any of it?
No.
Climbing the tree, running and whatever. Did you all learn? Who taught you? How did it happen? How did it happen? You should ask him. He'll tell you. Subconscious. Consciously, you wouldn't have achieved anything, man. You wouldn't have heard anything, you wouldn't have read anything, you wouldn't have done anything. Because those things are so profound, yet you're so good at it, you'll never make a mistake. Right? And all of us do it. So who is telling he is the first rank in walking, he's first rank in seeing and talking and all that? Everybody is first. Okay? So here, you should understand this capability. If these capabilities could be built without your knowledge, what is this small math here? What is this small computer here? Okay? I'm in class, okay? Okay, now. So do you know how your brain works to get all these skills? Have you ever thought about it? How you did it? No. It's the brain, right? If your brain was not functioning, you wouldn't have achieved anything of these, right? Okay. Brain helps us to navigate complex environments. Okay? And most of the heavy lifting is done without our knowledge. Right? Now here, psychologists who have studied the subconscious mind have found that, all these are influenced. Our thought processes are influenced. Memory, emotions, motivations are all functions of the brain. That's where they originate. Right? Next. People have tried to, they're studying, it's a science, right? They've done brain imaging and they've really studied the brain, how it works. And then they see there are million and billion synapses in our brain where memories are stored. Okay? What is your brain like? What is it? What is it? What is it made of? Neurons. Yes. It's just neurons. Okay? It is just neurons. Is my brain different from yours or yours? I think it should be the same, right? Two eyes are same. It works beautifully. Two hands are same. Legs are same. God wouldn't have given me a lesser brain than you. Would he have given me a lesser brain than you? I don't think you have got no lesser brain than mine. So we are all equal competitors, equals. But we don't think about it. There is a constant, here you should know. Some people think, oh, I'm getting old. I thought it. Okay? I'm getting old. I'm forgetting the names, man. My classmates' names. Who sat next to me? I can't remember. I can't remember the telephone numbers. I can't do a thing. So I ran to do my MA in literature at the age of 45. Okay, I said, okay, let me see. I wanted to see my children went out of home. And I was like devoted to my children, their upbringing and all that. That gave me a lot of joy. But I knew something. If they stayed with me, they would be good for nothing, guys. Because everything I would tell from morning till night what they should do, what they should not do. One day I read Khalil Gibran. You should also read him. Okay? He gave me the sight or insight, okay, how I should take care of my children. And I was miserably failing as a mother because what was the certificate? My children were extremely good, okay, good children. But they were extremely bad in the class. You see, I made them take science. I said, science is one subject you need to learn, okay? It is all about life, okay? What you learn about life. If you are not science student, you will not be fit. That time, mother, no? Lot of aspirations. I didn't do it, so you do it, okay? And not for marks. But I said, no, whatever you learn in science has got correspondence to your life. There is nothing like science. If you have not studied science, then you won't know many things. You won't be able to connect many things of life. So you should. And I have twins. So both these guys would kind of work with me maths. I became their teacher because in the classroom, I left my job as a manager, bank manager. I came out of the bank because my children would never ever learn anything in the class. They were so preoccupied among themselves. Okay? They forgot the world. So I would sit with them, make them, like exercise books would be over. Night I would sit with them, they would do maths, I'd teach them, I would jump, I would fall, I'd do anything, circus, to make them understand. Oh, they were all ready for the exam. After the exam, how much, son? 100 out of 100. How much they would bring, then? Both the sons, 0. They wouldn't answer anything in the exam. I was really panicked as a mother. I was really. One side I'm a bank manager. Everybody says, madam, everything. I'm so young, okay, then. And then I come home, go to my neighbors, my friends, classmates. All were contemporaries. Like I would go and, please give me your notebook, notebook. Every day, yeah. I decided one fine day, I said, I have enough of this nonsense. I'll leave this. I'll take care of my children. And I did that. Okay? So till 12th, I was all the time, because I gave so much of it, it was a challenge to me to see that my children, like 2 children wouldn't fail in life. But yet, in the PUC, they did science, okay? From one tuition to another, we would drop them. Afternoon, I would go, because I had the privilege of being at home. I gave them lunch, and they would be having the best lunch from all the other children, and they would be, targeted for it also. Because anything new, I was madly in love with my children. And then what happened? One fine day I read Khalil Gibran, and he said a lot of things. You should read this poem on parenting, then you will know what it is. Said, a mother I cannot have dreams for them, their dreams are their own. I will not go to the places, so I will not be able to give my ideas to them. So he nullified all my beliefs, okay? So I said, okay, I accept it, because that is what I felt then, that I'm not a good parent. Because, okay, they should be given the freedom to fly. They're ready to fly. Said, go. Don't be with me anymore. Do what you want. But I was lost. I said, no. I want to get to academics. So I said, I'm forgetting names, everything. What will I remember in the class to say? I'll prepare and go, and then I'll scratch my head and say, what will I say to the class? I did English because I wanted the mastery of the language, and I wanted to know if I was capable. Yeah, I came out first in the class. That is besides the point afterwards, because I also got absorbed there. Okay, not that everywhere I learned to be passionate about things, so I could do it easily. And then I got a job in management school because my management degree was much, and experience was all in management. So that way, yeah, that's what it is. See, came here because I did my PhD after that.
No, but like how
Alvas was closest to my house here. But my mom is here. And then the bridge broke and now it's the farthest away. Mullarvatna bridge. It is not coming up only. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. What we'll do is I'll stop it here and we'll continue this talk later, okay? I'll come back to you, maybe if you can give me time, okay?
All right.
So these are very important things, okay? I just want to kind of you to be, see, these little of my takes are my lifetime learnings, okay? Even if I share it with you, it's going to help you. It's not going to be bad. Yeah, I'll come back because I've not even come to a very, what to say, background of it. I'm not into it. I'll do it next. Okay? Thank you.